And I don't remember. I know he slapped me, but I don't remember if it was a punch or a slap, but like I said, things happen so quick, it's just normal. And I told Brittany move because he kept pushing Madden out of the way. And he kept coming at me, pulling my hair. Madden couldn't hold him back because and so I went in the kitchen and I turned around and he came out there and flinched like this. And then he was normal, like I said, he was still fighting, and then he picked up the thing for the TV. He was still arguing with me after that, like I said. And so we started fighting, and it's just really hard on it. And Madam, I got him in the bathroom, and I did pick up the iron thing, and I threw it, and I was just like, I hate you, da da da. I'm tired of you doing this to me all the time. And then that's when Madam was like, come here, and I was like, he's lying, he does it all the time for attention. And I saw him, and I knew.
Is that when you took your phone and gave it to, or told Brittany about calling Ryan?
Yeah, because I thought he was faking it, and I told the next time he did this I was going to call the cops. This was a couple arguments ago. And he said, I told him to take my phone because this was before I even saw Keith on the floor. I told her to take my phone before because Madden said he's going to call the cops on me. Because we were fighting and stuff, but I told her to take my phone before that even happened, before I even gave him CPR or anything.
So do you remember when Madden has taken him in the bedroom at first? I believe Madden thought he was stabbed in the neck. He said something about him being stabbed in the neck. You're like, why did you stab him in the neck? He wasn't that bad, or he's faking. I think that's when you thought he was faking. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, I didn't even get him. He's faking it. Like, he's fine. Because he kept arguing. I was just like, what are you talking about?
So when you guys kind of came together and the clash happened, and you flinched with the knife, was that in the kitchen, or was that, because I would think it was in the bedroom?
It was in the middle, it was by the doorway from right here to the bedroom. Because he was coming at me and it was in the middle of the bedroom and the bathroom, or the kitchen.
So, alright, if I'm sitting in the kitchen, over to the left of my kitchen, over to the right is the DJ stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, and then looking straight ahead is the bedroom door. So are we talking about in this area right here, were y'all close to the bedroom?
It was in the doorway.
Kind of in the bedroom doorway?
Yeah. So
that's when Brittany gets you out, or you get out into the kitchen somehow. He breaks loose, he's coming. You grab the knife from the, I'm guessing, counter, because that's where the little wood thing is with the knives.
Yeah, and then...
And you're going back in?
No, I turned around and he was coming at me, and like I said, my first thing, and then I went back in the bedroom.
And that's not, here's what I'm trying to understand. There's a little bit of room in between the doorway and to where the knife was. So
yeah.
If you got the knife from the counter, you're going to have to take a few steps to get to the doorway.
Yeah. I don't remember, I just grabbed it and I turned around. And it's so quick, I don't remember walking, I mean... I just need some fresh air, please. I can't.
Well, let's crack the one you said. We're just about done, and then we'll...
I'm tired of talking about this all the time.
I know.
I'd rather just, if you're going to arrest me, please just do it, because I don't talk about this anymore.
I'm not...
I just feel so bad.
Here's the thing, I can't even arrest you over here if I wanted to. And I'm not saying that I want to. I mean, I'm just trying to understand, you know what I mean?
I know.
I'm just trying to understand.
I would never do that intentionally. I was really scared.
So why do you keep on, I mean, you said it several times, why do you keep on saying arrest me? You're going to arrest me?
Because so many people are already saying, like, calling my sister saying how I should be in jail and I'm murdered.
crime scene and if I'm looking at Brittany's statements. Those things are kind of, I mean, she's moved through a lot. I don't really think Brittany is, you know, when she was talking to us, I don't really think she was like necessarily for Houston or for Kaylee or for whatever. I think she just, you know, she was there when something tragic happened, and I mean, she just kind of said what it was. I mean, it just kind of is what it is, you know what I mean? And so, she recalls you guys being in the bedroom, like you say, y'all kind of locking up, him getting in the head. She recalls all of that. She recalls Maddie trying to get him back. She recalls her kind of initially trying to push you back, and that's when he reaches around and hits you in the face. And she don't remember whether it was a closed fist or open hand, which, I mean, that's not a huge deal. We can't get that ironed out. But she remembers him reaching around her and hitting you in the face, and then she's trying to push you out, and you're trying to also kind of get loose too. She remembers then trying to like grab a hold of you, and then I think she grabbed your arm and she pulls you out of the bedroom into like the kitchen area, like where the DJ thing is, and almost gets you into the living room, and then you pull loose. It has to be right in this area where you get the knife, because that's where the knives are, the wooden bottom of the knives right there on the thing. And it is also in putting the crime scene together with the Madden statement is when Houston kind of breaks free. And so I don't know if you're trying to see what's going on or just trying to make sure that he's not coming at you or whatever. But when he breaks free, he's kind of coming at you, and that's when you have the knife in your hand and you kind of flee. I mean, you're trying to, you just want him off of you, and that's when you come down and because I know it's...
It was so quick.
I know it's at a downward angle. I know it's at an angle
yeah,
like
it
this.
was, because I didn't know what else to do. Like, he was big. Like, I don't know what else to do.
Well, I mean, he's twice your size. I mean, I understand.
I don't know what else to do, so I didn't. He just kept coming at me, and he wouldn't stop. Even from down the house, they tried breaking him up. He just kept following me and grabbing me. And I just wanted to leave. That's it. That's all I wanted to do.
So, Red?
Keep going. I'm really exhausted.
Let's go from one thing. This, obviously not still, this is the bed, this is the TV, this is the bathroom, like where the iron and stuff is. This is the door coming into like the kitchen area, the DJ stuff over here, the counter, the sink, or whatever. Because the knives are in this area. And she's pulling you out, and he's trying to hold him back in there. He's trying to pull and push you out, and y'all get into like this area right in here, okay? And he's still in here. The knife has to be grabbed from here. Of course, this is not closer, but so you grab the knife, okay? So I don't know if you're like checking to see where he's at or turn around to see, okay? But from where you get the knife to where it happens at over in here, he's breaking loose, kind of at this, you know, and so you're trying to protect yourself. So when you come up like this, are you saying right here in this doorway?
Yeah, it was, I was more in the doorway, and he was,
Say more in the bedroom?
Yeah, I was more in the doorway, and he was coming this way, like, I can't describe it without.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. You're more in the doorway, so would you be, like where I put this X-ray?
Yeah.
Would that be more, like you were right there in the doorway, and then he would be more here, where?
No, he was,
Okay, why don't you, I'll tell you what, just so we be a different color, why don't you take this?
Where's the bathroom door?
This is the bathroom door.
He's on this side.
Okay, so why don't you kind of put an X in the clothes with this red pen kind of in the area where he would have been?
Like, when he was coming
he's
out,
charging at you.
he was coming from, when I came in, he was already coming this way from the bathroom.
Okay. So you get the knife here, you're going towards the door, and when you get there, he's coming at you.
first broke up, it was really abusive as well, and
well, I don't think you're lying. Here's what I need to understand. There's two more things I need to understand before I leave, okay? One of the things I need to understand is, and this is a question that I'm going to have to be able to answer, okay? So, the knives are here. I'm just going to put like a tag. Because the knives are on the counter, and so you get a knife from here, and you're going back into the bedroom with the knife. Okay? Yeah. And he's going this way. So just help me understand, why are you going from here into here with the knife?
I think honestly, like, I just didn't want to turn around and him grab me or do something because when he's behind me, I have no control. Like, I can't free myself, and I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to hurt me, so I just turned around. And I kept that, and then he just kept coming, and I just stopped.
Okay. And the second thing that I need to understand is the difference between yesterday and today. This makes sense to me. Today makes sense to me. Yesterday, and I'll be honest with you, I was confused.
My mind was really crazy, and the things were adding up, and I know you deal with this stuff, but just the whirlwind of everything was just going through my head, and I promise I'm not trying to lie or do anything intentionally. My mind is really crazy right now, and events are adding up in my head, and
I'm not saying that I do, but some people could look at the statements from yesterday, some people could look at the statements from today and say, well, she lied yesterday, but now that we've got the crime scene stuff. Well, I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying some people could perceive that. And they could say, well, now that you got all the crime scene stuff done, and now that you got the autopsy results done, and you know the truth, then she decided to be truthful. So just help me understand that.
Like I said, my mind has just been racing a million times, and
okay, that was the second. Let me revisit the first thing I need to understand one more time. We're just about that. The first thing I needed to understand, like you said, the knives were here, they were waiting, and he's in here. Okay, you said that you wanted to go back and make sure he was coming. Okay, so if you're afraid of him. Okay, and I'm not saying that you're not. I mean, I believe it. I mean, he's watched your size. He's a man. You're a big female. If you're afraid of him, if you made it to here, why didn't you
let me go? He would not have let me go. No, I've tried to him before, and this is what happened. He would not have let me go, so I just wanted to make sure he wasn't following me.
But what I'm saying, like, right here is, there's the front door.
Yeah.
So if you've already got a head start on him, so why didn't we just...
Because I just wanted to make...
If you're afraid, why didn't we just run the hell out the front door?
I know, but it wasn't my first instinct. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to grab me by my hair or my throat. That's it. Just wanted to make sure, and he came at me.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying that I'm dead. I'm saying these are questions that I have to be able to have an answer to. Because, you know, when I thought, you know, for the Commonwealth, this is what I'm going to have to, and I just want to make sure that I understand.
Like, I wouldn't have even got far. I'm telling you, like, I know I wouldn't have got far even if I would have run out the door. He would have came and got me. I already know. I just didn't want him to grab me by my hair or my throat or anything, and then I was selfless. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to get back at me. That's it.
So if you were going to leave, this is another thing you kind of talked about yesterday, but like I say, I'm making sure I can wrap my mind around. When you left work, Ryan had sent you the money, okay? Why didn't you just go get a hotel?
I know, and I should have, but I didn't want to leave and him not know. I wanted to just say goodbye and get Kona. And I figured we just have a mutual conversation where we didn't have to fight or argue. But I just didn't. When we first did this, I actually was going to leave work and pick up my stuff. We fought a long time ago, a couple weeks ago, and that's why there's messages of him saying, I'm sorry, just come back home. home because I didn't even want to go back anymore, but I wanted to tell him why, and I didn't want to leave and not know.
I'm just trying to understand.
But I should have been.
And sometimes my job is trying to ask easy questions, and sometimes my job is to ask hard questions, and that's what I do. Not that I'm trying to dissuade, not that I'm trying to do anything else, okay? So this is a question I have to ask, okay? And like I say, sometimes we just have to ask a hard question, and I'm not saying that I believe in any word. I'm just saying we just have to sometimes ask hard questions, okay? Because this is going to be a question that the Commonwealth's going to want to know. This is going to be a question that him and David's family's going to want to know.
I know.
And whether they understand and accept things, I don't know. Me and you both, we can't control that. You know what I'm saying? I can only try to find the facts. I wasn't there, so I have to piece it together like a puzzle. That's all I can do. You know in your heart of hearts what the truth is. And so, this is where we're going to come here. But this is why I have to ask the hard question, okay? So the hard question is going to be this. Because they're just going to wonder, if you get the knife here, was you going in there to try to get back at him or to take the fight to him? Because you get the knife from here and you go back towards the door with the knife. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, somebody could perceive
I know,
that you're
but
taking the fight to him and that you went in there to do it.
No, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to hurt me anymore, but I was never, ever trying to hurt him. I've never even when we fought before. I've never put my hands on him. I've never even hit him back, ever, except for this one time when I keep him in his chest.
But you see what I'm saying, where somebody does have that perception?
I don't understand how it is, and how to know he would have grabbed me, and
So at the end of the day, my hard question is this. When you got the knife, did you go back into the room and be like, motherfucker, I'm tired of this, boom?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't even know. I just wanted to make sure, and by the time that even happened, he was already at me. He was already at me.
So then what? Let me understand why we went back.
Because I just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to come after me anymore. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to grab me. And I should have left. I know I should have left, but he would have got free and grabbed me by my hair.
Well, like I say, I just need to be able to explain it.
But no, if I could have him back right now, I would. It really was a big part of my life. Like, I spent 3.5 years on and off with him.
Here's what I'm going to do with this piece of paper, okay? That way, I'm going to kind of help use this to be able to explain it to the Commonwealth. This is what happened. But I don't want there to be any misunderstanding about this, I changed it, I did it, or whatever. So what I've done, I wrote today's date on it. Today's September 11th, 2015, and I put my initials on here, okay? Would you care to just, somewhere down here by this, just either kind of initial it or sign it? That way there's no question that I didn't go and just make up a different piece of paper. Anywhere in here. Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, well, let me ask this last thing. I know that I've asked you a bunch of questions. I know that we've revisited a bunch of things that's been very uncomfortable. I know that we went over this. Everything we do is basically like picking the scale off the sword, and I apologize for having to do that. But at the end of the day, I've asked you a bunch of questions. I've asked you easy questions. I've asked you hard questions. But is there anything else, because I really need to be able to understand this, is there anything else before I go that you think is important for me to know, or maybe I didn't ask about something, or maybe I didn't know about something to be clarified? Is there anything else before I leave that you think is important for me to know?
I don't know if you want to see those pictures, but no, there really is nothing else.
Now, are you going to mainly have your sister's phone with you?
Yeah, I don't have service out here.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I've got some other interviews and some...
The
the interview's wrapped up at this point, is that correct?
That's correct.
May I approach your honor?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to show you what I'll mark. As come on exhibit 76. Do you recognize this item?
Yes, I do.
And can you identify it for the jury, please?
I can. This is the diagram of the residence initialed by Kaylee Whitehall, the diagram that we were referring to on that interview.
And there are some marks on this diagram, as you indicated on this interview. It is initialed by her and dated.
That's correct. This is the date, 9/11/15, with my initials, and I will circle my initial, and her initials is right directly under mine.
All right, thank you. So the final interview, the story changes.
That's correct.
And how does it change?
The location, at this point in time going into this interview, I've been able to go over with the crime scene people, with the medical examiner, kind of been able to start to paint the whole picture, and I knew there were certain parts of the story that were not true, and so one of those was the stabbing did not occur in the kitchen area.
And that's finally confirmed by Kaylee.
That's correct.
And you also confirmed during this interview that she did not stab him by a rear motion. Is that correct?
That's correct. With him being behind her, the stab was on the left portion of his chest, and if he were behind her and she stabbed like this, there's no way that the wound would be on the left side. So I knew that was not accurate also.
And towards the end of this interview, she tells you that she held the knife in a different position than what she originally told you.
That's correct. She held it with the blade down from her hand like that.
And she did demonstrate that for you when you were talking to her?
That is correct.
Okay. And finally, at the end, there's clarification on the door, the damage to the door.
Yeah, to the bathroom door, yes, ma'am.
All right, and what was her statement about that?
I believe she finally states that she did throw the iron and it caused the damage in the door.
Now, earlier yesterday, we talked about, I think, the first placard in those photos. There was some blood on the floor, there was some blood in the bathroom, and there were swabs taken.
That's correct.
And those swabs were not sent to the lab. And can you explain to the jury why those swabs were not sent to the lab?
Yes, ma'am. During all the interviews, not only in the interviews and statements, but also visually looking at each person involved, there was only one person at the scene, one out of the four, that was bleeding, and that was Mr. Houston Johnson. So I didn't need to identify where the blood was coming from. I knew that by statements and by crime scene.
And then I think there was a question yesterday about the knife. Was the knife fingerprinted?
No, it was not. This was not what we would call I guess a quote-unquote a whodunit. We knew by witness statements and by Ms. Whitehall's statements that she stabbed him with a knife, so there was no question as to who stabbed Houston.
And did you arrest Kaylee Whitehall?
I did not.
And why did you not do that?
As with any death investigation, not necessarily natural death investigation, but death investigations like this, we always go as slow as we can
to gather all the facts, and as we're learning facts, that may uncover another fact, and we're always comparing it with the crime scene, because the crime scene, it is what it is. It does not change. So when we're gathering statements may change, and we have to compare those with the crime scene. And with all investigations, we notify the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, and this particular call, Mr. Chris Colron came out. So we were updating him constantly on the information that we was learning. So we, in no case whatsoever, do we want to rush to judgment. And so once we felt like we had all the facts, or as many facts as we possibly could gather, we met with the prosecutor, Mr. Chris Colron, and he made the decision to present this case to the Warren County Grand Jury.
And at this point, after you talked to Kaylee Whitehall the last time, you did meet with her one more time. Is that correct?
I did. That last interview that you heard was on the 11th. On the 12th, the next day from that, Mr. Johnson's family called and notified me of a post on social media. Then the following day after that, on the 13th, Mr. Harden contacted me and stated he was representing Ms. Whitehall, and for any communication to be through him. And so at that time, I informed him about the social media post, that I would like to ask her about that. And I also wanted to get one final set of photographs, and he agreed to do that at his office.
And do you remember the date of those photographs?
I believe that was on the 14th, September the 14th.
And during the interview, you seemed to be very pleasant. You're very polite to Ms. Whitehall. Explain to the jury why you do that.
In our training, and in talking with anybody in general, just personal skills, if I come at somebody and I'm accusatory, beating the table, calling them a liar, they're not going to communicate with me whatsoever. I have to make them feel comfortable in speaking with me unless the conversation is over with. So that's just kind of a tactic that we use. We just try to be a person with them. We don't try to attack anyone. It's not like it is on TV.
Just a minute. Okay, thank you.
All right. We'll take a break at this time. While we're on this break, we're going to talk about the case. Former express your opinion about the case. Let anybody talk to you about the case. I would like to be back ready to go at 4 o'clock, please.